Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammadin wa ajil farajahum wa ahlik a'da'ahum. Aliyun Waliullah in prayer, Aliyun Waliullah fi salah. Some people say that because the shahud is the obligatory part of prayer, so we cannot recite Aliyun Waliullah in an obligatory part of the prayer. We can only recite Aliyun Waliullah in the mustahab or recommended part of prayer, for example, Qunut. Again, this claim is without the proofs from Quran and Hadith. First of all, Quran ordered us to say Aliyun Waliullah everywhere we say La ilaha illallah and Muhammadur Rasulullah. If this was haram to be recited anywhere, we would have been told. So it is obligatory on us to recite this in all those parts of the prayer where we recite the first two testimonies. Otherwise, our acts of worship will be incomplete. We would have been told clearly if this was not to be recited anywhere. Secondly, if it is obligatory on us to recite the tashahhud in the prayer, it is also obligatory on us to recite salam in the prayer, which is wajib and obligatory part of the prayer, and it is recited after tashahhud. Shaykh Saduq, who is regarded to be one of the most esteemed scholars in the Shia religion, has narrated a saying in his book Man La Yahzuruhul Faqih in the chapter of prayer. In that saying you can find the following after you have sent salam and peace upon the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Assalamu ala al-a'immatir rashidin al-mahdeen. You can find the reference for this in Man La Yahzuruhul Faqih, volume number 1, page number 269, starting from line number 9. This means, may salam, peace be upon the rightly guided imams. Thus Shaykh Saduq has proved that imams can be mentioned not only in the recommended mustahab parts of prayer, but also in the obligatory and wajib parts of the prayer, for example salam. Shaykh Saduq has also mentioned the saying of our great Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam in the same book that قال حلبي له أسمي الأئمة في الصلاة قال أجملهم. Halbi, who is the trusted narrator, asked Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam if we can take the names of imams in the prayer. He said, Ajmalhum, take their names in a beautiful manner. This proves that the names of imams can be taken in the prayer, including tashahhud and salam. Imam Baqir alayhi salam did not restrict the names of the imams to Qunut only. So wherever we take the names of Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the prayer, we can also take the names of imams alayhi salam. This hadith has also been narrated by Kulani in his book Tahzibul Ahkam, which is one of the 4 Shia most authentic books. This hadith also confirms the Quranic verse in which Allah Ta'ala has ordered Aliyun Waliullah. The deniers do not seem to have any hadith like this that clearly proves Aliyun Waliullah not to be part of prayer. Some people argue that majority of people have only started saying Aliyun Waliullah in the prayer now, and their forefathers did not recite this. This has already been explained before as to why the Shias did not recite this in prayer. The reason was taqiyya. Furthermore, we would need to have a look on the history of Aliyun Waliullah in prayer in order to refute this claim, which is based on ignorance. First of all, Quran gave us the verdict around 1400 years ago that Aliyun Waliullah must be recited after La ilaha illallah and Muhammadur Rasulullah. No scholar is allowed to give his opinion against this order of Allah, because this is clearly proven from Quran. Even though there was taqiyya, Aliyun Waliullah was still recited and taught by the imams to their trusted companions, and people used to recite this as mustahab recommended because of taqiyya. However, once taqiyya is over, this must be recited as obligatory and wajib. Furthermore, around 400 years ago, a great mujtahid of Iran, Faqih Abdullah bin Hussain Shostri, who died in 1021 Hijri, who was the greatest mujtahid in Asfahan, which is a city in Iran, during the age of Abbas Safi, wrote a book in the favor of Aliyun Waliullah in prayer. The name of that book was Risala fi Idkhale Qawle Aliyun Waliullah fi Tashahhud as-Salat, which means a book on Aliyun Waliullah in the tashahhud of prayer. The written version of this book is still present in Maktaba Ayatullah Sheikh Shia Asfahani, and this is written in Nazariya fi Tasanif Shia, volume number 11, page number 47. This mujtahid was the student of the father of Allama Majlisi, Allama Taqi Majlisi, and Muqaddas Urdbeli. Such an esteemed scholar wrote a book on Aliyun Waliullah, and none of the mujtahids of his age raised any objections on him. So you can figure out that the only problem is the money-making mujtahids and scholars who are opposing Aliyun Waliullah in the prayer today. This is the only problem regarding this issue, which is being faced by majority of Shias. While great scholars like Sadiq Hussaini Shirazi and Fazil al-Qurani, who are alive, still allow this in the prayer, the deniers are mainly stopped by their mujtahids. In 1305, Tuhfa Ahmadiyya was published according to the verdicts and fatwa of Allama Nasirul Millat, which also had Ali ibn Waliullah in the Tashahhud of prayer. Its written version is still available in Darul Ulum Muhammadiyya Sargoda. This book was published for the Shias of subcontinent India and Pakistan. Also in the mid of last century, the Risala and book of Fiqh Majlisi was published with the Hawashi and explanation of Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Qasim Tabatabai, which also had Ali ibn Waliullah in the Tashahhud of prayer. Even in the Namaz Janaza, the funeral prayer which is offered when someone dies, of Khomeini Sahab, Ayatollah Gul Paigani recited Ali ibn Waliullah in the prayer. When people asked Ayatollah Gul Paigani, why did you recite Ali ibn Waliullah in the Namaz Janaza while normally we only give 2 testimonies in the prayer of Janaza? He said, Imam Zaman alayhi salam was leading the prayer and he gave the testimony of Ali ibn Waliullah in the prayer, and I only copied his words. For proof, you can watch the full video of the funeral of Khomeini Sahab. Subhanallah. This was probably the indication from Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam that the period of the Qiyya is now over and Ali ibn Waliullah is obligatory to be recited now. If Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam gave this testimony, who are we to deny it? So this also proves my viewpoint that Ali ibn Waliullah was only discontinued due to the Qiyya. While the period of the Qiyya is now over, thankfully, a book written by a Mujtahid also quoted this incident. The reference can be available upon request. So Imam Zaman alayhi salam is also reciting the 3rd testimony after the first 2 testimonies. What excuse is left now?